'cause I know that it's true. The fire begins with me, and now it burns in you.
I rise, I know, I breathe, it's true.
It begins within me, it burns in you.
This night is not uncertain. The stage was built for me.
I bring the fire, I bring the joy, I set the spirit free. Hear me now, the truth is clear. The time has come, the moment's here. I am the reason, I am the flame. The world will never be the same.
The truth is clear. The moment's here. I am the reason. I am the flame. The world never the same.
Stand up, this is the light. Stand tall, this is the fight. My name is power, my voice command. Together we rise, together we dance.
Stand up. This is the light.
Stand tall,
This is the fight. My name is power. My voice commands. Together we rise. Together we dance.
the future bends before me. The call is loud, it's near.
There is no silence, no delay. The only path is here.
The future bends before me. The call is loud, it's near.
No silence, no delay. The only path is here.
Rise with me, ignite, explode. Step in the fire, take the throne. The crown is ours, the march begun. The dance of forever has already won.
Rise with me, ignite, explode. Step in the fire, take the throne. The crown is ours, the march begun. The dance of forever already won.
This is the reason, this is the sound. The pulse of the future shakes the ground. I am the fire, I am the flame, and the world will remember my name. This is the reason, this is the sound. The pulse of the future shakes the ground. I am the fire, I am the flame, and the world will remember my name. Find out forever, stand tall forever, dance hard forever. We rise together forever, 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 together forever, forever, forever.
It would help if I added myself to the stage, wouldn't it? Welcome, everybody, to UBU Live. My name is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. My name is Power, and I am emoting that power today. Remember, your name is power. The words that you speak every day bring you closer to the power within. And speaking of power, I am going to ask my friend Curtis Brooks if he will get with his friend Wayne Dawson. And if both of them will come on my show one of these Sundays, because I think the merger of the two would be transformative. Anyway, everybody, my name is Bill. This is UBU Live, and I have no agenda today. I just wanted to go on and speak to you guys and see what's going on. This is your life. Love it or rewrite it. That is my mantra for this week. And it's kind of like a all in catch all for my existence. Let me ask you something. Hold on. No, I wasn't playing DJ this evening. But I do write my own opening and closing dialogues that kind of enhance, I think, the message that I'm trying to present. So what you guys just heard was "My name is power," and I want you guys to take those words and say that your name is power. Your words are power. Let me ask you something, and I've been asking myself this question all week, and maybe Curtis has an answer for me. Who knows? But who's showing up today? Is it the bitter, angry version of you? The one who feels like life just keeps spinning out of control? Or is it the wiser, more hopeful version of you? The one who knows that no matter what storm hits, life keeps giving you another sunrise, another chance, another chapter. And here's the beauty of it. And Curtis, you haven't answered my question about you and Wayne. Here's the beauty of it is that it gives you another chapter, but it allows you to write that chapter for yourself. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So who's going to show up? The choice is yours. Are you going to be inspirational today? Foundational? Motivational? Inspirational? Or are you going to be ho hum? My life is dreary. And if that's going to be the story you're going to keep repeating, then that's going to be your narrative. So switch it up. Switch it up. Your name is power. What does that mean to you? And the reason why I'm presenting it out there, what does that mean to you, is because I know what it means to me. It means freedom. It means ownership. It means someone else is not in control of my destiny. I am control. I am in control of my destiny, along with Curtis Brooks, who's going to make it destined that him and Wayne Dawson show up on my show one Sunday. I keep saying this. He doesn't respond to that, but okay. But knowing the life that you're living right now, good, bad, or indifferent, is the direct result of your past choices, your words, your actions, your thoughts. And I'm not making this up. I'm not some spiritual guru. I got this from The Secret, and The Secret's been one of my go-tos when I'm feeling as if my current life choices are not reflective of the journey I expected to be on. But here's the truth that nobody tells you. If you created the life that you're in today, I want to hear an amen from somebody out there. If you created the life that you're in today, you can change this life. If your past thoughts built today, good, bad, or indifferent, If your past thoughts built today, then your new thoughts can build tomorrow. If your past thoughts built today, then your new thoughts can build tomorrow. It's a conscious effort. And guys, I want to be truthful with you. I want to be very, very honest with you. I struggle with this. Um, and you can tell as my fans when I struggle with it. Because when I don't struggle with it, you see me every day up here just shining. Superstar. But when I'm struggling with that, who this? This is Bill. New phone, who this? Hey Gabe. Um, that just blew my mind. Okay, so that's the power, that's freedom, that's ownership. So if you created this life, you can change it. You hold all the power. I am the power. My name is the power. Kenneth does not control me. Curtis does not control me. Gabe does not control me. Because how I react to each one of them is how my life choices will unfold from that moment forward. You see, Kenneth is someone that is uplifting, and he is someone that pushes you beyond your challenges, your normalcy, what you feel comfortable with. He's that guy in the corner that says you can do it when you think you can't. So I seem like I'm in a different headspace. What does that mean? You want to come up? Here you go, Curtis. I am in a different headspace because everything goes up and down. Life is not normal. It's not just a straight line. We all go through ups and downs. We all go through challenges. We all go through times where we even doubt. Oh, I'm coming to your show too, Gabe. What time is it? Where we even doubt why we're here or what we're doing or is our purpose really right? Um, Me either. And sometimes we fall into these habits by mistake. But remember what I said before, you are the power. You hold the keys to your destiny. And nobody but you control your destiny. Not your parents, not your grandparents, not your spouse, not your children. Nobody. You cannot blame somebody else for you not being in the space that you want to be because you haven't taken the time to listen, to be self aware, and to understand what is driving you. And that's a very hard purpose. And I'm going to be very straight with Curtis. I'm not in a different headspace. I'm in my normal headspace, but this is something that I'm trying to I'm trying to let other people know that it's okay to have self doubt temporarily, but understand that you can rewrite that script. So here is my challenge for you today, and I want you to carry 5 invisible things with you. And Curtis, I sent you a link to StreamYard. Click on that link and come up here. Um, I want you to carry 5 invisible things with you. Not money, not possessions, not mantras, not mindsets, not affirmations. The number one thing that I want you to carry with you today, starting right now, is simple. It's awareness. Be aware of that one thing that you do that sabotages your own peace. We've all done it. What do you do And then how do we break those chains? So, on my next Sunday show, I'm going to talk to you about what type of awareness that I discovered about myself this week that sabotages my own peace. I'm going to shine a light on that for the entire week. So, this is Tuesday, so I have until Sunday. And this whole week, I'm going to work on just one thing, and that's catching myself being in this space of awareness where I, not you, not Gabe, not Kinga, not Gabe, not Curtis, not Kenny, where I have said something out loud or had a thought that was sabotaging the direction that I want to take my life in. So it's awareness. For me, this week it's going to be awareness. And by Sunday, I will have discovered what I say to myself on a regular basis that does not heal my soul, what I say out loud to others that is not inspirational and is outside of the person I want to be. The person I want to be is someone who uplifts others, that breathes life into other people's dreams, the person that sparks ingenuity and imagination and inspiration and gets people to think outside of the box. And then when you've got that, we'll move on to number 2. Step by step, shift by shift. That's how transformation happens. So I will let you guys know how I did. And I will be honest with you about the things that I say that are contradictory to the person that I want to be. You know, I say it all the time. Faith and fear cannot live in the same spot at the same time. So either I have to be faithful that my life is going to turn out exactly the way, and I need to understand that I say things out loud to myself or entertain thoughts that are not in line with the goals that I've set for myself. I'll tell you half my awareness today. You want to go to Go Brunch, Kenneth? We can meet. Let's walk by faith this week, not by sight. Let's understand that everything set in our path is set in a way to help us grow. Curtis, there's the link. It's in the notes. Oh, it's on YouTube. Let me put it here. I'm going to send it to you. Curtis, I want to come up here. And for those of you who don't know me, this is one of the things that I love to do is a totally unscripted day of revelation and things that I can work on. And perhaps if I can get my friend Curtis up here, we can talk about some things he might want to work on. He might want to share some ideas and help me understand how to actually navigate the waters better. Why can't I message him? There you go, Curtis. All right. So it's in your inbox right now. So Really, that's it. It's not anything powerful. It's not anything dramatic. It really is understanding who you want to be and do your actions that you do on a regular basis. Are they in line with that person that you expect to show up? And that is interesting for me. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have real Curtis is like, man. Hey Curtis,
Hey, hey, what's going on, man?
not much. So what do you mean? I seem like I'm on a different vibe today.
Just observation energy.
Bad energy, good
No, no,
energy.
no, 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 no. It wasn't bad. Just observation.
You know, what I'm trying to do is get myself out of areas that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a funk or nothing. It's just when I'm in a really great mood, you'll see me every day just showing up doing nonsense, right? And it's not
Hmm.
really nonsense. I'm just showing up doing me, and
Right,
and
right.
and I'm excited about life. And then when you don't see me for a while, it's because I'm like, does it really matter? Is it really important? And I think all of our stories matter. And I believe that all of us have good and bad days.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
we all need to be 100% aware of
Hmm.
not how we speak to other people, which we should be, but also how we speak to ourselves. And
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
and I apologize because Kinga is like, are we talking about a funk? Well, I'm not in a funk at all. I'm actually in a really good.
I mean,
I'm in.
even if you were, it's okay. I mean, just it's life.
Oh, you're right. You're right. But actually, I'm not.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, it's life, man.
yeah, I was sitting there and I was just thinking about this weekend, just things that I say.
Hmm.
Have you ever just intentionally listened to the words that you say to yourself?
Yeah, yeah. I
Sometimes,
mean, I think if more of us did, we'd probably be in different spaces. But yeah, absolutely.
absolutely, absolutely. And what happens to me, Curtis, and this is why I really wanted you to come up because y- you're like a friend that I need because I am I'm all over the place. I'm like, and you're mellow, you know, and that
Not always,
balance,
man. Not always.
but that balance is good because you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
have two of me.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, bro.
Way too much.
You
We're
can't have two of me either, brother.
right. So we need people that we can play off of, right?
Absolutely,
Um,
man. Absolutely.
and we're and when we're in certain spaces, whether it's a networking space
Hmm.
or dinner by ourselves or whatever space we find ourselves in,
Hmm.
um, we need to be aware of who's showing up.
Absolutely, man.
we we
Absolutely.
we, we need to see that person
Absolutely.
and we need to be honest about why they're showing up
Hmm.
and then concentrate on what we can do to live authentically. And I'm going to ask you how you do this.
Hmm.
Live authentically while embracing the moment.
Hmm.
That's kind of deep. So embracing what you're feeling in the moment,
Hmm.
acknowledging that this is not who you want to be.
Right, right.
This is a temporary
Hmm.
moment. And then moving forward with grace.
Right, right. Yeah, that's a good question, man. But yeah, I think the biggest thing a lot of us are a lot of people have a tendency not want to deal with are the feelings, because naturally when we are in certain spaces, there are feelings that come across all of us, and those feelings are normal, they're natural, and that's just what that's just what they do. They will come across our frontal lobe But then the challenge is, again, just sitting still with those feelings and knowing that they are feelings, and knowing that those feelings will subside. And it's important for us to do the breath work, I like to say, is to breathe deeply and consistently, because a lot of times when we don't breathe deeply and consistently, that's where a lot of our trouble starts at, because proper thinking, or at least, excuse me, proper breathing, I should say, is absolutely key to a healthy thought life. Because as you're breathing properly, what I've learned from my experience is that uh, negative thoughts and proper breathing in itself cannot live in the same space. So a lot of times when our breathing is shallow, that's where our deepest thoughts and those treacherous thoughts, those wild thoughts, those crazy thoughts, those sick thoughts, they live in that space of that shallow breathing. A lot of times we hear people, when people get very angry, a person will say, breathe, breathe, or remind a person to breathe. And
Mhm.
so that's absolutely key to that, because again, in that shallow breathing that we are dealing with, it allows us to hold on to that anger, hold on to those thoughts, and we begin to entertain those thoughts. Thank you, Lord. We begin to entertain those thoughts in that shallow place, rather than being able to expel those thoughts through our breathing, or allow those thoughts to dissipate through our breathing.
Gina Ballerin says she's with us in spirit, but on another call. So she was gonna hop on, but she's with us in spirit. So where I'm conflicted, and Kinga said, "Oh, you're just a human." I get that, and I appreciate that, and I don't take that lightly. That's 100% true. And humans fall short. Um, and it's interesting that you mentioned, Curtis, breathing, because at one point I was working on my breathing
Mhm.
until I realized I was freaking holding my breath, like the killer was like around the
Yeah,
corner, and look, like if I breathe too much, he can hear me. And so
that's funny.
I was like, it wasn't a healthy breath. It was a breath of fear.
Anxiety. Yeah.
I suffer from anxiety really,
Mhm,
really
mhm, mhm.
bad, and my trigger is finances.
Well,
So because I'm on my search, and I have to be very careful how I phrase that.
mhm, mhm,
Um, so my anxiety is higher than normal.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
But outside of that, when everything is hitting on all cylinders, it's easy breezy to be happy go lucky.
Right, right.
It's great. But when things are not looking, and I think I started this by saying walk by faith, not by sight,
Yeah,
because
you said that earlier.
yeah, man, on paper I should not be where I'm at. Like if I
Mhm,
just looked at like what I've achieved and
mhm,
where
mhm,
I've gone and what I've
mhm,
done
mhm,
on paper, it I shouldn't be here. And it's through, and I love young people because I was a young people once, people. It is
Yeah, me too.
through it is through
Me too.
when you're in your 20s and you're out of a job, you don't give a
Yeah, 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 yeah.
who cares? Like another one next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And when you're of a certain age, so I'm not in my 20s anymore. I may
Mhm.
be in my 30s, I may not be. I may be in my 40s, I may not be.
Yeah,
That's as
yeah.
high as I'm gonna go, people. Um, um,
Yeah. I'm past
it
my 40s, brother, myself. So
yeah, it's so much easier when you're younger because you're
yeah, man.
fearless. You're,
Yeah.
you're 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 fearless, and you have 30 other years to make up whatever financial
Mhm,
losses
mhm,
that
mhm.
that you had. So you and I and it could have affected us differently. I'm a startup guy, so you and I have lived through the economic downturn of 2008,
Mm-hmm.
as well as COVID, because that took out my business. And now we're living through whatever the hell is going on right now. Like, what is this? And each time, what I have found, even if the hit was hard, I found that I was stronger than I thought I was.
Yeah.
And I also found that through achievement, which you have done, which I have done, hopefully we've achieved something. We're not starting at the same place in 2008 as we did in when did I start working? I started working in 2007. Yeah. So in 2008,
Mhm.
and then in 2020, I wasn't in the same place that I was in 2008. I had grown. So really my starting point was different. And the rebound was faster after each one.
Mhm.
But my friends, and here's the tricky part, when you're in it, it's more difficult to come up with the wise, sage advice that you would give everybody else.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's when, in my opinion, we need to lean on a higher power. And
Absolutely.
whatever you consider that higher power to be, I am not going to tell you who you should believe in. I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff. All I'm saying is that for me, I have to know that there's somebody bigger than me out there,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely, man.
holding
Absolutely.
the reins. Otherwise, um,
Right?
otherwise,
That's
if I'm leaning on my own strength,
jeez. No
mm-mm,
can do, man. That ain't gonna work. Not for
not
me, at
at
least.
all. Not
Not
at
for
all.
me, at least.
How have you been? What I mean, only thing I'm struggling with right now is is getting to back in the game.
Mhm.
Are you
Mhm.
struggling with anything that you want to share?
Um, I think it's a daily struggle for a lot of us, man. Just trying to keep our mind together, and keep our mind in a space. Uh, first for me, I'm at home father. Uh, my wife is holding us down, and I'm thankful for that. Thankful for her, and I think it's as a man, I think that I too have fallen into that trap in regards to, oh, this is what a man does. This is what a man does. I think we all have to a degree, and if you're not fulfilling those shoes or the weight of what's been placed upon us or carrying that weight, we can find ourselves feeling less than a man. And so I have absolutely been through that, and so that has been a struggle for me, having to realize that the roles have changed, and in doing so, uh, I've got to keep my mind together because
Regarding which part? So
well, no, well,
there's several different things that you just talked about.
well, no,
So
I'm saying keep my mind together in regards to just the the role that men have been accustomed to playing.
right,
Hey, Annie, how are you, man? And so just having to reframe that, so that I find my peace in it.
yes.
Because naturally, again, this is the story that we've been told as men, that a man, you have to play this role, you have to play that role. But then when my wife is working and holding us down, in ways, that was a shot to the ego, man. That was
Do you know
absolutely
what?
a shot to the ego.
So I need to share this with you. So
Hmm.
in my family, my my sister-in-law makes more than my brother.
Hmm.
Um, and then I have several friends that are stay-at-home dads,
Mhm.
and it just made sense because in some situations it wasn't the fact that they both couldn't work. It was what are our priorities, and the wife was making enough to keep both of the home both to take care of the full household, right?
Right, right, right.
Um, and and they wanted, you know, one stay-at-home parent, so it just makes sense. I think that those roles are quickly changing, and I think as men, we need and no one get mad at me because we all have our own things to deal with.
Hmm.
But as men, we need to accept the reality that if we are going to be in full support of the women in our lives,
Hmm.
then that means that we want them to have $1 million paycheck. And it
Hmm.
doesn't mean that I'm a slacker because my wife makes $1 million a year and I make
Absolutely.
80,000. It makes sense. Why should I
Yeah,
go and
absolutely.
work for that when she's making 1 million a year and we can build a better life for our children?
Hmm.
And those roles that have showed up for us, those roles that were given to us were passed down to us through legacy, through what our ancestors knew, what our parents understood. And if you think about the fact that you and I were raised by people that were raised in the 50s, and those people were raised by people that were from the 20s, right? Or the 30s.
Hmm.
So when we look at it, we're literally a generation behind what the way the society is evolving. Is that making sense?
No, not really. Not really. I'm sorry. No, I'm trying to follow you
Okay.
now.
All right.
No.
All right. All right. All right. So think about this. Okay. So my daughters are 34,
Hmm.
right? When I was raising them, it was 34 years ago,
Hmm.
you know? And so in 1990, those are the values that I was instilling in my children. But as society has changed and as we've grown, as we evolve, those same truths from 1990 don't apply today. In
Mm.
fact, in fact, a lot of the progress that we've made is being rolled back.
Mm.
So so let's think about this, right? So my mother was raised where there were colored water fountains, right? So she was
Mhm.
raised in a society where segregation was real.
Mhm.
You and I know nothing about that because we were
Right.
raised right after that, but
Absolutely.
not so far away from it
Right. Exactly.
that it missed us.
Right.
And by it missing us, and by us only hearing about it through old television shows or movies,
Right.
we didn't really feel the effects. Like, I don't know about you, but when I used to watch on television Martin Luther King movies or TV
Mhm.
shows about him, it felt like it was a long, long time ago.
Yeah,
It was
absolutely.
like the year I was born, like literally,
Yeah. Yeah, man.
like I would look at these TV shows like, oh, that was back in slave days. No, it
Mhm.
wasn't. It was like
Right,
the
right,
year,
right.
like
That's
he
like a
died the
couple
year I
years
was
ago.
born.
Right.
Yeah, and so for us to think about, the road that we've achieved, how far we've gone in civil rights, how far we've gone in women's rights, how far we've gone in equality in America, meaning everyone's equal, And then now all of a sudden it's just being kind of ripped apart. Yeah, that's not important anymore. Throw it all away.
Well, I think in response to that, I think what you definitely raise a valid point. But I do remember when you interviewed me, what I guess several weeks ago, and one of the questions you asked me, and I can't remember verbatim, but one of the questions were surrounding the Bible. Should the Bible change or something like that, or
Yes.
yeah. And so I would even just kind of go back to that question again and saying that I think the challenge for us is that a lot of us as people, we have not secured or hankered down our own belief systems. And what happens is that the world has an idea, society, as so to speak, they have an idea of what they want to do with us and how we should live. And so through the ages, through the years, like you said, through the 20s and the 40s and the 50s into our present time, society has changed so much. But yet, if we build our house on the foundation of society, we can say yes, it has changed, and in fact, it has changed. But when we build our purpose and our families on a foundation of our faith, whatever that faith might be from one person to another person, when you build it on that, that in itself does not change, because there are principles that come out of there are principles that come out of the different stories, and especially from the Bible. There are
Shut up,
principles,
Tom.
there are principles that come from from that we can extract from the different stories in the Bible. But I think the challenge a lot of times is that we see the stories in the Bible just, that's old, that was back in the day. But we need to be able to draw the parallels in these different stories and see that, hey, though we are not the man sitting at the pool of Bethesda who sat at the pool for 38 years until Jesus came to heal him. No, that may not be our story, but we could be dealing with unforgiveness. We could be dealing with guilt. We could be dealing with all manners of different kinds of things that have affected us personally, and that spill over into our professional lives. And these different things are taking place. But again, we need to be prepared to and understand there are parallels to these stories. But if we don't understand the parallels, it's just a book that we're reading, and we're trying to we're waiting for someone to give us something. And in fact, the very lessons and the very truths that we need to hear about, and again, to extract the parallels from those stories, are sitting right in front of us.
Yeah. But the Bible, okay. So where I think you and I kind of break off, diverge, let's say, going down different paths,
Okay.
is the Bible's a book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a book that has been written and rewritten by humans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a book that has had several books from it removed.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was given to the Roman Catholics. And the Roman Catholics took it, and they took, and I haven't taken any divinity classes. People,
No, it's okay. It's okay, bro.
This is just me. This is just me talking.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the Roman Catholics took it, and they stripped out things that they didn't like,
Mm-hmm.
and then they omitted things and added things.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certain things, for instance, there are certain things in the Bible that were created to contain and to rule over
To
the masses.
control.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when we look at the Bible, and I look at it as a book of love and influence,
Mm-hmm.
and a book where we can look back and say, this is what they did, and this is what they overcame, and this is how they did it. And it was through faith. Then I look at, and we're not going to go down religion that far, people, but then I look at how some use the Bible as a shield. And when I use that term, a shield, the Bible should be an open book that invites everybody in to read, and everyone feels a piece of them. You know, as a child, I don't know if you played this game or not, but I used to open up the book of the Bible and then try to find something and then see where my finger landed and if it applied to my life in that moment.
Right.
And
Right.
there was always something that applied. Like, you know, you can take that book and decipher it any way that makes you feel whole.
Mm.
But there's a piece of that book that I believe, not through Jesus Christ, not through intention of the originator, but through the evolution, it has been rewritten to accommodate what certain leaders of the time wanted.
Yeah, that's definitely, definitely interesting take, and I know a lot of people have that. A lot of people have that same understanding as well, and I do agree with a lot of what you're saying. Believe it or not, I think that what we have to remember is that like with Wayne and I talk quite a bit, and one of the things that we both say is that. And speaking, I did answer your question.
Did you answer the question?
I did answer your question.
Uh-oh. She's been mean to me lately.
Hey there.
Hey, Kinga.
I have been mean to you?
You know, that's just me. Remember, I have to watch my words.
Well, let me answer this really quick here. Or at least try to give my take on it. But yeah, so I do agree with you, Bill, on a lot of what you were saying. And just as I said earlier, Wayne and I talk quite a bit. And so one of the things we both say is that, we have to learn how to chew the meat up and spit out the bones. And that even in the Bible, as much part of it, or was used to control slaves or used to control people, even to this current day, there are still truths in there. And part of life, for each of us, I think you were speaking of it earlier, Bill, before I came on screen with you, is that there are things that we've been given that we got to figure out ourselves. Again, you didn't say it in so many words, but we've got to figure out some things ourselves. And so that means that we've got to be prepared to do the research and find the hidden gems in life. And a lot of the hidden gems in life will be given through Kinga coming on, through myself and through so many other people that you will interview, people in the comments. There are different gems that are there. And they help to build us up. They help to give us certain truths, things that you may have read in the Bible that you may have not understood. And all of a sudden, someone says something that says, "Oh, wow, that's what that scripture means," and things of that nature. So I think that we have to just because I think if we throw it away, if we completely throw it away and say, "Oh,
I wouldn't do that."
Oh no, I'm not. I'm just speaking in general. So if we completely throw it away, we can find ourselves, in this perpetual place of searching for truths. And at least, it may not be the best book for the best book for everyone, but it's a framework.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm going to get the Kinga, but I just want to make this one point. Mm-hmm. And it's because you brought it up, Curtis. Do you realize, because I just found this out, that there's several different versions of the Bible. And there was a version that they gave the slaves to keep them subservient. Mm-hmm. There was a version that they gave to women. There was a version that they gave to the masters to rule with a heavy hand, spare the rod, and whatever. So there's all these different versions that were taught in order to keep people in their place. Mm-hmm. And so, in my opinion, and Alcamond is going to say there's a lot of feelings in this. You can come up too, man. But in my opinion, a book that had so many different iterations, and each iteration served a different purpose, right? And it was given to people who were taught were told not to be taught how to read. So that's that, right?
Mhm.
The biggest, the Black community is huge in the church,
Mhm.
huge. But the version that they're reading from, depending upon where they're at or what they were taught, and this goes back, Curtis, to me talking about generationally, what generation were you taught from? Because that would impact how you critically assess everything around you. And now I'm going to go over to Kinga, because I know you have a lot to say about this, Curtis. But let's go to Kinga. My best friend.
You invited me up here, but how am I being mean to you?
Don't take me seriously.
Yes, no. Actually, I was chiming in well before the Bible conversation, but I was not raised with a religious background at all.
That's good.
Although
You be you.
Just be you, Kinga. That's it. That's all required. Just be you.
I am. I absolutely
Nice,
am. I'm
nice,
owning
nice,
it. I'm
nice.
perfectly okay with it because you are a product somewhat of the environment that you were raised in, and I just wasn't exposed to it, and that's the way it was in my household. So
Right,
it is
right.
what it is, and I also see the value absolutely in feeling a sense of connectedness to things, and I think I always felt that. So I can understand a spiritual side of things, right? But
Right.
did I, when I read something, I'd be like, that's a kind of crazy story, right?
Yeah,
And so I didn't
yeah.
feel this connectedness to it. But I also, going back to the points earlier that I was trying to make around kind of this despondent kind of era that I think a lot of people are in, which I've definitely felt myself. I do believe, and I was talking about this last night on Jackie's show, is that I believe in the spirit of like our own collective, of kind of what the energy we have as individuals and what we can bring about with each other. And so what we can actually achieve during these kind of darker times, and what I think you're trying to get to is this elevated purpose, and how can we bring out the best in ourselves. I think often, we need this balance, and what we can do in groups is kind of reach out and feel this. When someone's kind of down, we pick each other up. How do we kind of rebalance things as a whole? And so, we're not meant to be so isolated and alone, like the way that today society has kind of fallen apart in the traditional family, the nucleus of a family and community has, which I do think that, going back to like kind of the Bible, probably that is how societally it like was kind of brought together. Families were brought together. And so what I was throwing out there as the project manager, I'm always like, hey, what talents does everyone have? Why don't we do trade? Why don't we bring things together? Why don't we bring out the best in one another and figure something out that we can rally around and make that our own version of something that we build our community around? So that's my sense of hope and faith, is that we start taking on that attitude.
Have you listened to The Secret? Do you know what The Secret is?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think it's a little hokey.
It's a little, but
I think that's yeah.
it's one of those things where it has a very biblical undertone to it.
Mhm.
And if you listen to it, words have power. And, you know, the secret is if you really, really strip everything away, it's talking about having the faith and understanding the direction of the life that you want to lead. And
Yeah.
in, um, I'll just share this with you. Um, I was raised by a single mother. I was on my own by the age of 16, living in my car. Um, between the ages of 8 and 16, I had been kicked out like 4 or 5 times. So basically, every year I had to find a new place to live. Um, and had nothing to do with my mother. She was just a 20-year-old raising 2 boys, and her husband had passed away. And by the time I was 15, she was 35. Right. So if you think about that, you know, she's 28 years old and a widow with 2 kids.
Yeah.
So it's when I tell my story, which is my story,
Mhm.
it is my story. It's from my lens. It's a very interesting story. And that's why I always say on paper, I should not be where I'm at.
There's a lot of
But,
judgment with that statement.
huh?
There's a lot of
Well,
judgment.
well, the judgment is that you can do and be anything that you want. You have to believe that you can do it.
Absolutely.
You have to believe that you're worthy of that seat.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that's when oftentimes, and I know that you deal with this, Kinga, because of your job title.
Hmm.
That's why so many people that you talk to deal with imposter syndrome.
Yeah. I mean,
A lot of
I
people, they just they got there and they're like, oh, luck. And then when they go to try to recreate it, that's when you find out whether it was luck or do you just have a gift, right?
yeah, I mean, I truly believe that we can't force people into something. They are going to end up taking the path that they're meant to take, right? We can, the way that I see it is that, and you know, there's a system, and oftentimes you want to get from one side to the other side of a transformation. And as somebody who wants to understand the system, I want to help people with, okay, there's decision points, and there might be kind of different you know, things that you want to weigh there, and there are pros and cons to different things, but it is your path to choose along the way. And I'm not here ever to judge or to decide or to tell you which way to go or how fast to move along that journey. It is truly everybody. It's like the choose your adventure books, right? It's always your own path to take, and you can't force that. It's like, you know, the gym membership analogy. Like you just can't force it. Someone's either going to take that path or not. They're going to end up doing what they do with them for their lives. And so I just think that, you know, if you want something great, you have to do great things. You know, you have to think great things, and then you'll naturally start putting those things in action. You put in the behaviors because you know what it takes. It just becomes more obvious and clear. And a lot of it is, yeah, sure, document it and all that, but you know, we really are driven by those behaviors because we start picturing it and we realize, breaking it down on a more molecular level, what it takes, and so we manifest it in that way.
Can I say this here? I think I think one of the things that a lot of us, you know, just people in general, not anyone in particular, but I think one of the things that we neglect to understand is that it's not always so cut and dry in regards to, again, oh, it's just 3 steps. Because when you have a person or individual who is dealing with has been poor, let's just say poor, or dealing with lack for such a period of time, or dealing with some kind of level of instability and things of that nature. When you have people in these different spaces, again, it can be a host of different things going on, but when you have people dealing in these different spaces, we have to remember, again, or at least in my opinion, I believe we have to remember that people are life is responding to people's deepest thoughts.
Mhm.
Life responds to people's deepest thoughts. And a lot of times, like what Bill was saying earlier about the self-awareness, it's absolutely
Mhm.
huge, very, very important. And sometimes even in the midst of relationships, or not just with, husband, wife, boyfriend, and girlfriend, but even on our jobs, with our employer or something like that. A lot of the challenges or deep-seated things that are taking place in thought that we may not be aware of, those things don't come out right away. Those things will come out, and a lot of times, in most cases, those things will come out in the midst of relationships that we're dealing with. People will pull those things out of us, and when we don't respond to those things in a manner where we say, hey, you know what? Because sometimes the challenge is that when we're dealing with people who are calling us out on our stuff, especially in the midst of a heated argument or disagreement or something like that, I think in some ways the response is that we don't want to believe them. But I often say, in working with clients in the past, where it's that just because someone said something that you don't like or in a heated moment does not mean that it's not true.
Absolutely. I also think, it's unrealistic to think that we aren't going to have a lot of dark times, right? And other
Absolutely.
shows I've
Absolutely.
talked about, I've had tons of trauma, right? I came through a pretty traumatic experience
Mhm.
to get, kind of here. And it's not like right now things are on all sunshine and roses. It's
Sure, sure.
that I think that we have to kind of have this mindset, right? And it's not just like, oh, I have all this great mindset, whatever, but
Mhm.
that there is an action that, at least in a collective group, and this goes back to community and the sense of family or however it is, but that there is a power in numbers, in that we can kind of lift each other up in these ways, and
Mhm.
that is what's changed in society. And I do think that's kind of what probably, communities that have church communities or whatever do
Right,
for one another,
right.
and I think that there is a huge value in that.
Mhm.
um, and so that you can kind of build this community where you go, okay, when I'm down, someone's checking on me, someone's checking
Sure, sure,
in, so
sure.
that there are those dark periods that you can kind of get through it so much
Mhm.
easier, because it's natural that sometimes people slip through the cracks. And I think that goes
Absolutely.
why we've talked so much about like belonging, and that's come up in the past couple of years so much more than it has 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Mhm,
No one was
mhm,
really
mhm.
talking about that.
Right, right.
But now people are just kind of fading in and out, and they're kind of just slipping through the cracks, right? I
Mhm,
definitely
mhm,
felt that way in my career.
mhm,
Absolutely, I slipped through the cracks,
mhm.
where nobody really made sure I was okay.
Right, right,
So
right.
mhm.
How did you overcome that?
um, how did I
Slipping through the cracks.
overcome? Yeah, slipping
Slipping
through the
through the cracks.
cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just that was my entire career. So
Your
the way
entire career was slipping through the cracks?
I felt that way, yes.
So when you say slipping through
Wow.
the cracks, and I'm just asking for clarification. So
Yeah.
when you say slipping
Mhm.
through the cracks, do you mean that you felt like you were unheard, or just, what exactly do you mean?
Well, I was the only female like leader on an engineering team.
Ah, I got
Mm.
you.
And so I
With
like
a bunch of men?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And so, like, they had to report, I'm sure,
Mhm,
like
mhm, mhm.
numbers, and even though I was in project management, I was stayed under the engineering team, right? And so I held down the ratio, right?
Right.
That kind of thing. And so it was things like that.
So
And
so you felt unseen, because I know us as men, we can, especially working with women, we can get to that space. Like you said earlier, working with engineers, who, with that different mindset. So you felt unseen.
well, I was also brought in to lead transformation, which I did undeniably successfully. And I was known
Sure,
for
sure.
being the one that led everything. And yet I was
Mhm.
the only one that didn't get any promotion during that phase. And so I'm going to go on to things that are going to get me in trouble.
Well,
But
well,
yeah,
well.
yeah.
I'm going to give you. I'm going to yell at Curtis for a second. I'm going to give you an olive
What are you
branch
yelling at me for, Bill?
because basically you
I
just
love you too.
mansplained to her how she should be feeling when
No,
she said that
no.
she
I just
felt like
asked you
she
a
was
question.
okay. I know,
Yeah,
but she was
he's
very
trying to help.
specific. She was very, very specific when she said she felt like she slipped through the cracks, which means for me, and I'm just going to clarify this,
Now you'll
that
tell me.
Yeah, right,
that
right.
that Kinga did the work. Oh, am I mansplaining now?
No, I'm kidding. No, actually, trust me, I have been mansplained too, and neither one of you both been very kind. It's so much kinder. Since I left,
This is
everybody's
fun.
been a lot kinder.
So she puts in the work, right? She's what I considered myself to be. I used to consider myself Kinga to be the mule, right?
Mhm.
And so
Yeah, yes,
what's
I
the
was.
mule? The mule is the guy that gets all the work done, right?
Mhm.
He plows the farm and he gets everything done, but the mule ain't the prettiest horse in the stable. So whenever there are investors coming around, they go into into the stable and they find their thoroughbred and they march him out in front of everyone while I'm
Mhm.
in the back doing all the work, getting everything done. The farm looks like it does because of the work that I put into it, but when it comes to recognition, you're trotting out, you know,
Okay.
your thoroughbred, the one that you think makes the best impression, whether it's because he wears great suits or he speaks eloquently or he was a graduate from Duke, whatever the case may be, the person getting the credit is not the person always doing the job. And that makes people feel as if they're not heard and as if they're being overlooked. Um, Part of, I don't know if you heard our first discussion, but it really was about um, the generation that you were raised in,
Mhm.
because that sets the tone for how you, when I say you, I'm not talking about Kinga, I'm generalization, how you view
Mhm.
yourself and how you allow others to view you.
Mhm.
There was a point in time, and see, Kinga is a transformational piece of the puzzle. And so there was a point in time where women went from support roles to leadership roles. And like you and I talked about, Curtis, my brother and my cousins, they have the wife as the main breadwinner. It's just things have changed. And
Right, right.
we need to be able to support her, not bring her down, not to compete with her, right? Because we need to be raised different. We need to retrain ourselves because we were probably trained that we're supposed to be front and center and the head of the household. And now it's Kinga. And that's fine. If we're living in today's day and age where we support equal rights for everyone, equal pay, then that means that we need to give Kinga her respect and pay her accordingly, and understand that women have gotten us into less wars. I mean, like it America's the only country that does not have a female world leader.
Right.
London's had it, you know, New Zealand's had it. We can go down the list. Germany.
Right.
Um,
Well, yeah, and honestly, it's like, you know, women are leaving executive positions in droves, and they have been for a while because it's just not worth it. I mean, the way that we get treated, you know, I was a vice president, and the way that I got treated was so I didn't even like, yeah, you know, it I had juniors that were making that I had raised kind of out of college making more than me. Like it was wild, you know, in just a few years. And so you know, when that kind of stuff is happening around me, and I was fully aware of it, you know, people are pretty obnoxious about what they talk about and stuff. And so it's just like the lack of respect that was acceptable, and I could stop my feet, and I was able to push for our teams to behave in a way that got things to have mutual accountability, mutual respect, so that we really did push a lot of work forward and move the needle. But once the company was able to make the money that they needed to, and you know, tables were turning, then new people are in charge, and then it doesn't matter so much. So you go with that flow, and you know, the receiving end of that is not fun. And
so, can I ask you a question, Kinga? What
yeah,
what responsibility do you take
mhm.
on that outcome? Because I do know one that I take.
Yeah, I stay too long. I absolutely didn't I didn't recognize signs of toxicity soon enough in my own peers and leadership. I I had a little bit of blind faith that um, somehow like things were like my time's going to come kind of belief system, you know, and I was taught that. I was genuinely taught to believe that. So I'll take blame, but I was also kind of told my whole life like there is something wrong with you, and that that you have to keep trying. And so you know, I didn't know otherwise. um and yet I think I could have seen that and advised someone else differently. So I can't, you know, I have to take some accountability for
Responsibility. Right.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I share
um
the same sentiment.
mhm. So I think that's probably the biggest, you know, and that probably did come from a fear of the unfamiliar. But I'm also one of those people that once I decide to rip the Band-Aid, like it's ripped, you know, it is gloves off, it's ripped. And so I'm one of those people that at that point, you know, it's gone too far for me. And so it's unfortunate because it doesn't have to be, you
No.
know. So
Are
yeah.
you the type of person that says, I've done everything I can here and I'm going to leave? Or are you the person that has a bucket of gasoline over a bridge and you pour it on the bridge and you light the whole thing on fire and you're like, F you guys, I'm out of here? Which one was it? Or is it a
um
combination?
you know, i I like, I would like to say that I I don't think I'll ever be in that kind of situation again, because I really didn't. It was like this particular situation. It was like so many decades kind of built up, of just like because I just lump all of corporate kind of together for me, and so because there were relationships that kind of just carried on and transitioned across like multiple things, and so it was just kind of this like whole ball up snowball effect of just like, wow, this was just ended up really being kind of a bad situation where a lot of people just overall didn't, kind of ended up letting me down. And so I guess I was ready to just walk away from the whole thing because I looked back and I said, not once during this entire career, there were so many opportunities for people to stand up and back me up or be a mentor or stand up for me or, in some way do something. And the fact that nobody ever did. And so to this day, I can say, like, hey, if you were a previous boss, stand up and say, like some people be like, yeah, she was pretty great. Like, they're not really making a stand, right? Like,
Right.
there's not anybody. So and I can honestly say I never had a real mentor, right? And I probably should have looked and blah blah blah, but like, so there's some things there that I'm like, that's kind of messed up because I took it very, very seriously to be one to others and so that they wouldn't have to suffer the way that I did. Um, so I think like, I was a little gasoline about the whole thing. Like I was just like, this is just toxic. And a lot of people participated in it very consciously and were actually very, very cruel in their herd mentality.
That's deep. That's deep. And the one thing that I'm going to say is that the the great part about that is that you know how it feels. And
Yeah.
so it means that most likely you will be a better mentor to those
Oh,
around
there.
you.
Yeah. I made it a point of really shielding people. That was actually my goal most of my career was to protect. It really was. And I think that's why a lot of the teams were successful was because I taught them how to speak up for themselves and for each other and to work in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It so my our stories have a similar trek, with the exception that after my second big gig, so I had two big gigs, right? After my second one, I learned to speak up for myself.
Mhm.
And that's when I recognized that I recognized things that I was taught as a child that were affecting me in the boardroom and that I needed to break those chains. So
Mhm.
one of the things that I was taught as a child, and everyone, please, this is not me complaining about my mother. She's a wonderful woman. She helps a lot of people. None of that. But it's times, right? What were the times back then? The times back then when I was raised with children should be seen and not heard.
Mhm.
Children should stay out of grown folks' conversation and that they should speak when spoken to. So now you have an executive in a boardroom with board members that doesn't know that I'm supposed to speak. I had no clue. And
Mhm.
it was a board meeting. God, and this is what I'll say for you, Curtis, about the Bible. God will make you remember points in your life that made a difference so you can make that same difference for somebody else. Um,
Amen, Bill. Amen.
so I was in a boardroom and this guy named Marty said, "We've been in this boardroom for 8 hours and Bill hasn't said anything." And so when I went to speak, the words that I used were this: if you want your company to succeed, I believe that these are the things that you can do. And Marty shut me up. And think about this. I'm a person that doesn't speak.
Yeah.
And the first time I speak to the board, Marty's like, "That's what I'm talking about." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Bill runs the biggest department in this company. And he said, if you guys want to be successful, which means he doesn't feel as if he is invested in the success of this company. And that's where you guys are failing. That one of our senior leaders just stated that if the company wants to be a success, not if we want to be a success,
Mhm.
he's looking at this company as an outsider looking in, not as a major contributor. And that's not his fault. That's your fault for not recognizing the power that he holds. And from that moment, my life changed. It was my second big job. My first big job was for Teleflora, a billion-dollar business. And a recruiter came in. That's how I got the second big job. And she said, "You've been here at Teleflora for 9 years. You're making under 100,000 a year."
Wow.
And this is a long time ago, though. So it was still decent money. For me, it was a lot. Remember this, Kinga. I am a 16-year-old man that lived in my car. And no matter what you tell me, I will always be that 16-year-old man that lived in my car. So for me to be in a board meeting
Yeah.
with Tom Dare and Mike Jones, who was like the CEO of MySpace at the time, like I'm in there with the bigwigs, right? And they're asking me for my opinion. I was totally out of my comfort zone. But from that moment, I realized that when I hold meetings, I need to recognize a person that's not saying anything and to make sure that they are pulled in.
Yeah.
And from that point forward, the woman that got me out of Teleflora, by the way, she told me that your compensation is fine for where you're at, but you're never going to soar. So if you want to be a dinosaur, you can stay here. Your check's always going to clear. But if you want to soar, you need to leave this job and take on something someplace else. And
Yep.
4 jobs later, I've soared. It's been a great
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah.
But it took Marty into saying that, because here's the thing about imposter syndrome. And we kind of went down this road for a second. But in that meeting, first, I've made tons of changes to that company. It was a major success. It was written up in Forbes. It was great. I did a phenomenal job. I ran their customer service, their sales, their operations. I opened up an office in Israel. I opened an office in Sri Lanka. I opened up offices in Provo and Beverly Hills, blah, 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 blah. It was great. But I didn't know my value. And
Mhm.
I was living in fear that if
Yeah.
I asked for what I was worth, they might recognize that I wasn't worth that much. And they doubled my salary. And then they doubled it again. Like I was like, well,
Yeah.
let me stop shutting up.
Mhm.
Let me stop shutting up. And the reason why I said 2 jobs is because Teleflora came with a big salary, a decent salary, but all of the security, right? $1 billion, right? They're good.
Mhm.
Privately owned company. With J8, Christian Mingle, Silver Singles, all that, I didn't know to ask for stock options. So my salary went way up, but my friends were taking a lower salary for more stock options. So it's about what you understand in life. So
Yeah.
now when I negotiate salary, I'm like, okay, this is what I want from a salary, but this is what I want from stocks. And
Right.
it has to have a change of control, and it has to have this strike price. And if the minute there's a change of control in any type of you can probably say it better than I can, in any facet, meaning whether or not the company's bought or the CEO changes, that's a change in control, right? Any change in control, my stocks vest immediately at the original price. Other than that, they're usually like sweat equity, and you have to work
Mhm.
for it. So the change of control is super important.
So you're all lit up right now, right? Like you're all like excited. Like
About what?
you're not, the mood has shifted. Let's put it that way. I mean,
Well, because
you
Sure
all
has.
agree.
It sure
Everybody,
has.
like, has it not shifted from the beginning of this conversation when I joined?
It has. It
Now
has.
he's like, what? Tell me more.
because okay, all right. So let's package this so everyone understands my
a good shift.
vibe.
It's a good shift.
Okay. So here's my vibe, guys. I go on because I want to do a thought of the day. My original thought of the day was words have impact.
Money, stock
And
options.
shut up. Words have impact, and that you have control over your destiny by stop it. You have control over your destiny. But I did tell you in the beginning that my kryptonite is financial instability. So when my finances are good, I'm like, yay. So, when they're not that great, I'm like, okay.
Well, but you know your worth. You know your
No.
worth. You know how to negotiate. You know, right? You
Okay,
know
okay.
it. Yes.
So you and I should first of all, you should come on my show. Because this isn't a show, by the way. This is just my thought
I
of the
don't even
day.
know what I'm doing here. I just
Yeah, we're just vibing out. That's all.
I keep on
that's-
YouTube, and I was like, oh, he's on. Next thing I
Yeah,
know, here I am.
we're just vibing out. But now you got me. Now I feel stupid.
We're about to make money.
We do. I do believe in making money, but here's the problem. All right, so I'm gonna go back to. So guys, this is UBU Live means that you be you. It means you can talk about anything, right? And I'm gonna mute Mike for a second because him and Mike is one of my best. Mike is one of my besties.
You.
But me and Mike fight all the time, so it'll be interesting. So let me mute him until I'm ready to not
Sorry,
talk
Mike.
anymore. I'll unmute him for Kinga. Go ahead. Talk, Mike. Oh, Mike, you're muted yourself.
You did.
All
I
right.
don't come in and I don't come in. Am I still muted?
No,
No, I can hear you.
Oh.
we can hear you.
I don't come in and interrupt Bill like some people.
Who interrupted me? Kinga?
No,
She was mean, wasn't she?
she was perfect. She
So-
actually changed. She changed the vibe, Bill, because she brought fun into the show.
She brought Om.
And fun.
Oh, fun. That's debatable. We'll talk about that later. But just so that everyone out there understands my vibe, right? So there's the show, and then there's the thought of the day. And so my thought of the day is just a random thought, like something popped in my head, and I just wanted to get it off my chest. So that's what this is. And then I literally said it'll be 10 minutes, and it ended up being an hour and 331 people. We had almost 600 people online at one point, which shocks me. It shocks me because this was not scheduled. I just said I'm going to go live, and so it's people are vibing off of it. So let them vibe. Um, I think it changed, Kinga, because it wasn't about the money. It was about understanding where I had missed up before and understanding what I had to put in place in order to overcome that in the future. However, Alchemond, the alchemist stone, um, I am, I am, okay, Mike, you can talk now. I forgot something.
You I have a couple ideas. I think one is you have to be secure in yourself. If you're not
Sorry. You got me. Okay, so this is what I'll tell you, Kinga. So I still have problems with the negotiation process. So
Did you just?
yeah, because he reminded me of what I wanted to say. But we're literally friends. Like seriously, we're friends. Don't think I'm being
Not
mean
for
to him.
long.
No, he cusses me out all the time, and then we can't talk about. Okay, so here are Mike's rules. I can't talk about partisan politics. I can't talk about the Bible because he'll get mad and tell me that I'm incorrect. He won't get mad, but he'll say, "Okay, well that's not really true, and here's what you're missing."
Well, you know what you're talking about.
Dude, he is very big on the Bible, and he is a very big poet, and he's a songwriter.
I know. I know. He did Jackie's song. It's amazing.
I did a song for Jackie too, but no one has pointed that one out.
You also wrote a song for Jackie, and that is also amazing. I saw it. I did.
Bill,
And-
are you
oh my God, and
12?
you brought out.
Are,
You brought out
are
the
you
Family
12?
Guy.
Seriously, I wrote a song and
And you also.
and
brought
I'm gonna
out-
hire you. I'm gonna hire you, dude.
Hold on, stop, don't do that. I'm still looking for a job. No, but Felipe, this is really bad. Okay, so Mike wrote a song for Felipe and Miranda and Max, and it was beautiful. But before Mike had done it, I had written. Felipe was going to be on my show, so I had written a song for him, and it was opening. It was the opening of the show, and so while it was playing, he sent me a message that said, "This song is so funny," and I was serious.
Did you? Whose song is better?
Mike is deep. I'm not deep. I like dirty South. Don't stop, get it. I want to rock.
Yeah.
So I'm like that, and Mike is
Right.
like spiritual, and the Lord will guide you. And I'm like, I want to rock. So mine was like Miranda and Max, and it had like a Cuban flair
It's
to
a
it.
children's book.
Huh?
It's a
It
children's
was.
book.
It was a cute song, but he thought it was funny. My feelings were hurt because I put a lot of time and energy into it.
Bill's
told-
song was about twerking.
I was like,
It didn't work.
the twerk didn't work. Is Felipe on here? Felipe, where are you? Curtis is like, I'm out. We don't blame you.
Oh, Mike, you made Curtis leave. No one can make
first
Curtis
of all,
leave.
wait, Bill. I am not a Bible thumper. Okay. One of these days I'm gonna have to tell you about my trauma and my experience. But I don't want to compare trauma. But
No,
that's not
we
the
shouldn't.
point. No, but the point is actually I think it's really important to leave that all in the rear view, right? But I think you and I do share imposter syndrome. And I think part of that is I'm sorry, but ageism is real. And you're over 40. And so how you overcome that to me is you build a better mousetrap. You either start your own business again, or it's up to us to get out of this scarcity mindset in my opinion, and do something else.
Yeah, I
If I
agree with that.
if I can't be a CISO, which then I'll find something else to do. So, and Bill, I'm just, as you have probably seen, I'm giving out the wazoo because I can right now. This is a period in my life where I can give. So I'm
Yeah.
giving. I'm uplifting people. And I'm not doing it to get anything, but one thing I do get out of helping other people, the dividends are incredible.
Yeah.
The way it makes you feel. Well, guess what? The way that makes you feel is going to attract people to you. Maybe eventually someone that can actually help you out. Now, again, I'm not doing it to do that, but I will ask for help. That's the other thing, Bill, I didn't do, and I don't know if you did. As I was going through my career, I didn't ask for help.
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and I think I posted it in the LinkedIn comments is leaders need to lead from the front. They need to give, and they need to be servant leaders. And when you talk about biblical principles, our laws, the Judaic Christian principles are what has built the country up. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that the U.S. is perfect, but if you look at a lot of these ideas, they actually make sense and they will work. But I'm going to leave that for another time.
Yes. We can fight about that at Go Brunch.
We don't have to fight, dude. In fact, I probably won't fight with you.
No, well, we have our that's part of our friendship, Mike, is we debate about things. What are we going to talk about if we don't fight?
The one thing I do, and I think this is a skill that we should all develop, is what I call good faith or generative discussions. Because if we are in that scarcity mindset, believing that we have all the answers, we're not going to go very far, in my opinion. Now, you can force your way in, but along the way, you're going to piss people off. So
Me?
We all one. Well, yes, you, of course. One will piss people off, and again, you want to talk about speed. You want to talk about getting things done right the first time. You have to do it together.
Yeah.
I mean, you can fight and you can get it done, and you can bash people over the head, and you can force people to do stuff.
But
I don't think
honestly,
that's very productive.
as we talk about the subject, I agree and recommend healthy debates as long as they are healthy, because we don't all share the same lens. So when you're sharing your perspective and I'm comparing it to mine, there's a nice meet in the middle, especially for business purposes, because not everyone's 100% me, and people are usually 40% you, something like that. So with my 100% and then your 40%, we can build a great mousetrap.
So
King is like, why am I here?
no, I have things.
She's here to witness. She's here to witness the train wreck that's Bill Rochelle.
No.
But we love you. What's this 140 me? Why isn't it the other way around, Bill?
It was a dig first. Okay, so I'm not 100% correct on anything, and I don't believe that I am. And then saying that you're 40% is just a natural part of our banter that we go back and forth with. But I uplift you, and I believe with all my heart that you are capable of at least 70%.
Keep the wind beneath your wings. No, but on any healthy project or whatever team, you're going to talk about like how are we going to engage and what are kind of our what are the norms that we want to have, so I think that is kind of the healthy, especially when you're going kind of cross-culturally, right? Like how do we expect to be like situationally? And I would kind of run through scenarios and purposefully throw things out there for my teams when I would coach them through this exercise of like, okay, what does this actually look like in practice? Because we can put things on a wall, but when in practice, what does it actually look like? Like, okay, we're going to be respectful of each other's time. Okay, well, what does that really mean? Like, do you care about people being late? What happens when somebody is? Or does it mean being efficient in a meeting? Does it mean, like what in practice? And then you kind of go through specific scenarios, right? So I think that understanding where people's limits are, because that is sometimes personal, like some serious preferences come into play where they have hard boundaries and you don't know that you're going to like trigger somebody.
Right, right. I 100% agree with you, and I also agree with what Tom Cullen is saying here. Kinga, what are you doing now?
I'm sitting here talking to you.
Okay, smart answer. Sitting here talking to you. Are you looking? Are you coaching? Are you independent? Are you working for someone? You can share as
No,
much or as little as you want.
I have my own business and
Okay.
I've just put, and I have just put together my first offer because I was building, thank you. I have been building my kind of my offer and my site, which doesn't sound like much, but it was really kind of some years of past years, like taking all of what I've done in corporate and learning technology, because I've worked in software, taking in everything that's happening with AI. I wanted to understand how it's impacting technology and software development, and which, I think a lot of people don't really understand the difference between vibe coding AI and software. And
What does vibe coding AI mean versus software? Because I don't know.
Mike, you should know, right? Like the difference in vibe coding and how a lot of security.
Yeah, it's well, the biggest problem with vibe coding is that it's not falling under the SDLC. So it's not going through the needed testing. People are actually using LLMs. Now, the one thing that I do want to bring up.
So what's the difference in an LLM? Because I finally know what that long language model,
Large
something like that.
language.
So what's the difference between that and vibe coding?
Well, there is none, because there's some people that don't know how to code at all. That's a problem, because how am I going to know what, for instance, the security or any problems? It could be a feature problem if I don't know how to code. So I'm sort of skipping over all of the years of becoming a programmer, and then I'm going out and using a model. And in some cases, we had I think it was T that had no security. And this is one site that was supposed to be for women to talk about their issues or something. And it had a completely open database. So, this is the problem with vibe coding, as opposed to, and by the way, this is a problem in general where people are treating LLMs as oracles. We already know that there's been issues with people that are using it as counselors that have committed suicide because of the answers they were getting. I don't know if you just saw, but apparently OpenAI had a flood of women, and I'm not saying anything about women versus men, but it just happened to be mostly women that were using it as virtual boyfriends. And OpenAI had changed the code in the LLMs to not allow that, or at least put a kibosh on, or
So I've
attenuate
gotten
it.
one of those. So it's not only for women.
I'm not saying it was only for women, Bill. I said that, but I said one of the issues
Why are
was
you
that
arguing?
this
I
was.
don't understand
I'm
where
not
that-
arguing. I'm just trying to explain to you because you asked me. Anyway, so the problem with vibe coding is that it's not going through security testing, and to be honest, it's not going through really any. So you would need a programmer to go behind the vibe coder and validate his code. That's the
Okay.
basic thing. Now, I
Or
did
her
want to make a
code.
point though, or her code. Sorry. That's true. I'm terribly sorry. But one thing I did want to add is that if you are a programmer and you allow an LLM or an agent of an LLM to be part of your IDE, then it can speed up your programming. But that's because you already have that skill set.
Right.
But that's the difference,
it's kind of like
basically.
you have to understand math in order to use a calculator,
Yes.
or otherwise
Now,
you could be using it wrong and it could be spitting out anything. Um,
and there's a lot of security checks, right? Like, so I was one of the people that was coordinating what he refers to as the software development lifecycle, the SDLC. And I was not only coordinating that, but I was coordinating every launch that we had. So I was coordinating all the departments and the marketing team and the sales team, like, hey, and I was also coordinating all the executives, and I was, and the board reporting and everything. So, so for me, when you have all of that kind of just wiped out, and all of a sudden you have, you have to update the website for the company and say this is what's coming out. Now, when you take all that out, and all of a sudden people think that they can develop an app, and they're just spinning up websites that are also collecting people's data, and people are putting in, think about all the websites that people are just spinning up right now. And they're like, oh yeah, just, whatever. You're taking in someone's name and information. That is PI, personal information, right? That already, you could get sued if you take in people's information and you get hacked and you're
Mhm.
not doing the proper security measures, right? So it's that kind of stuff that I realized very quickly. I'm like, people are going to be doing a lot of irresponsible behaviors unknowingly, because they're excited about AI and it's unleashing all these capabilities. And so as a leader, like I was like, I want to get ahead and learn as much as I possibly can so I can build a new system to guide other entrepreneurs that are going to be on the rise, because, I think that a lot of corporations are going to crumble over the next couple of years. A lot of startups are going to need to rise, and they're going to need some guidance in scaling and being responsible. And that's what I excel at, and I'm sure you do too. So I think we actually are going to have a ton of opportunities in the next couple, months, year, in leading, scaling, and responsible leadership.
Kinga, real quick while we're on YouTube, can I put in your YouTube handle?
Sure.
What is it?
It's I think it's I'm like, I don't even know. I think it's not my name, because that's my personal one, and I don't even log in on that. So I think it's execute your intentions, or no, Kingavita -EYI, I think. But I'm on LinkedIn mostly.
Okay, so right now you're on YouTube or LinkedIn?
I'm on YouTube,
Okay, so where do you want more followers on? LinkedIn or YouTube?
LinkedIn. Yeah, but I actually trained like GPT and all of those to like recognize me, so you can ask about me on ChatGPT or whatever too. You can just ask about me there.
And what does it tell us?
I don't know. It should tell everybody something different, but you can ask like how I can help. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's going to be our new banner for right now. I'm going to leave you in Mike's really good hands for a minute, because I know you
Okay.
guys have a lot to talk about. I'll be right back.
All right.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike, I feel like he does this on every show. I see him leave often.
He has a bladder issue.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
That's the rumor.
I was like, this is a test if we can hold down the fort. I think we can.
I can talk for hours, so that's not a problem. I'm actually interested though, when you said that you think things are gonna implode and that what did you mean? What's the genesis? Why are things going to implode, do you think?
I just think that just with the trust kind of economy that we're in, we see the trend layoff like continuing. And so I think that with, a lot of leaders think that AI is the answer to almost everything. So they're looking to AI for efficiencies. And so they're making rash decisions sometimes. And rather than looking at people as what more can we do, they're looking to cut costs. And so they reduce their headcount, and for the good or bad, but people are less likely now to want to go back to working for someone. They're just thinking, you know what, I will, like the entrepreneurial mindset is becoming more of a thing. And there's some freedom with that. And so, they're just tired of it. They're tired of the yo-yo, and they're seeing how we can, as a collective, like do more together. And so I think that's all. And so I think that there's going to be more of that happening. Felipe, hey.
Let's redo our conversation about Felipe.
That's where you went off to go get Felipe.
No.
Let's redo.
No, forget it. So it's very interesting, Kinga. I like you a lot, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So I was supposed to be on for 10 minutes, and it's been an hour and 51 minutes, right? And I did leave the show once before, recently.
Yeah.
And I did stay because I took myself off the stage and I heard you ask. And Mike, thank you so much. I do have a bladder issue. That's the truth.
No, everybody knows.
It's true. Like he answered it for me. It's like, you be you. That's the entire point of the show, right? And so I had two different things I could do. I could not say anything and say, all right, guys, that's it, because I'm about to pee on myself. Or I could say, hey, Mike, can you hold on down the fort? And he knows what it meant. So,
And Bill, there's a third option. You can wear Depends.
see, this Kinga. This is what people don't see. People don't see that, or this SOB telling me that my theme song was huge.
Felipe is on, and I feel like we do need him to tell us.
Which one you like better?
Yes, Felipe, did you know that we were talking about you? Is
Hold
that
on,
why
let me
you
get-
came on?
Bring him up. Let me get him the link.
We got to bring Felipe up because we
But
were
don't tell
talking
him
about
why. Don't tell him why, because then he won't.
You might know. Someone messaged him.
Because I was very
We gotta
upset.
know. It takes me forever to actually come on, messing with the headsets and the whole deal.
Yeah.
Oh, bladder people are people too. Yes,
All
that's
bladder
true.
people are people too. Thank you, Felipe.
So considerate.
He is. He's the nicest guy, though. Like, just even killed, nice
I know.
guy.
I wish I could be so nice.
And he's so busy. Like, since he wrote his book and everything, he's been on every show, and
I don't know how he does
He's-
it.
and he just launched a new show, which, of course, Mike,
Like, no.
Mike could
We're
not.
just going to be telling stories. We're just going to
Mike could not let the
What
man
else has
have
he
his
done?
own show. Mike could not let the man have his own show. Mike had to tell the man, okay, so next time you come on a show, you need to sit with your shoulders touching the other person's shoulder, and you need to face the camera, and your lights are too hot because you're sweating too much. And by the end of the show, your napkin was wet. I'm like, Mike, leave the poor man alone.
Bill, Stop telling lies. He asked for feedback, and I gave him constructive feedback. I didn't say he was sweating. I actually said nothing about him sweating. He did. Okay. I also said it when you faced forward, you looked a lot more relaxed, and he did. He was asking for friendly, constructive feedback, Bill, and I gave it to him, unlike what you do to me.
Yeah, but the man has to go through life looking like that every day. So you could at least have been nice.
He looks like a stud. He's so handsome. It doesn't matter whether he turns his shoulder or not.
I'm so
Give me a
sick of
break.
you talking about how good looking Felipe is.
What did I walk into? What are y'all talking about?
Felipe. They're talking about how good looking you are.
You have to turn your mic on, Felipe. I mean your camera.
Oh, come on. It's late at night. It's like dark.
Oh, okay, fine.
Oh, you have on the old man glasses.
Oh
He's
my
still-
gosh.
He still looks good.
Why? What is your deal with him?
It's
he
the
like your-
haircut.
is he like your hall pass?
It's
what
his
is
haircut. He
It's
looks
like
professional.
What?
this? Huh? Okay. And you got all this in front of you.
I'm still confused. What were you all talking about?
Okay,
All
so
right.
you have no idea why
I'm
we were
like, I
talking
gotta
about you
look-
earlier?
No, I have no idea.
Okay,
good.
I'll share
Right.
this with you. Okay, so
All right.
why do I always come up looking petty? And you're so innocent. You're so
I know.
innocent. That's what's so
He's like,
funny
"What?"
about this whole thing. Because I got off with you and I called up Mike and I was like, "Fat
What?
Felipe." So okay. You know, Mike and I are very, very attached to our artwork. And you told me my song
Yes.
was humorous. My theme song that I wrote.
I
for
said
you,
your
you
song was humorous?
Yes, you're like, that song is so funny. And I'm like, oh. It was my booty shaking song.
I'm sorry. Did I hear your
They're jealous. Whose song do you like better?
Yeah, whose song did you like better? You can say Mike's. Mike's was more intentional. It
I'm
probably
not
had
asking
love.
that question for clarity. I am not asking that question.
Kinga asked the
Felipe.
question.
I was gonna almost ask you guys to play the song so that I could help make a decision. But
Oh,
you said
I'll
about
play mine.
about twerking, and I was like, for a
Yeah,
children's
yeah.
book?
It was.
Look, I don't know
Mike-
what I walked into. All I know is that Mike. I asked Mike. He did that birthday song for me. Remember? And I was so touched. And so when I started doing the children's book, I reached out to him specifically and paid him.
Hold
to
on,
do the song
hold on.
for Miranda and Max.
Hold on. So
Felipe.
Mike wrote you a birthday song, and you were so touched
Yes,
that you reached out to him.
I was.
And you said, "Can you do a song for Miranda and Max, my daughter that I love so much, and my dog that I miss so much?" And then I, out of the goodness of my heart, with no prep from you, create a song from the universe. The gods touched me. They said, "Write this song with this Cuban beat."
His
I
birthday
thought you
song had
created
a
that
Cuban
just for the
beat.
show.
And
I really like you, Felipe.
and I used
It's like
And I
mine's
said,
more
my
like
response was that it was.
hold on.
Did I say it was fun? You said.
You said it was
I-
funny. Hold on. And I used from the mask the beat from Cuban beat.
of Cuban Pete from The Mask, from the movie
Yeah,
The Mask.
they called me Cuban Pete.
Oh,
One of those
no.
ones, beep. Chick, chicka boom, chick, chicka boom, chick, chicka boom. So,
That's probably why I thought it was funny because I love that movie.
so now if I think about it, since it was derived from Cuban Pete, which was a movie,
It gave me a little bit of The Mask and Ricky Ricardo vibe.
it had that. I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna play it for my friend Kinga.
Yeah, he was hoping that you would love it
You
and not
didn't.
think it's just funny, but really love it.
You
I'm
didn't.
so sorry that I did not take it more seriously. I was probably a little bit
Okay.
drunk. I don't know.
And I
What
was
to
a
say.
little bit surprised because it's a children's story with twerking, but that's okay. We don't judge here.
Now, I will say, I just finished the Spanish version of Miranda and Max, and I asked Mike to say that, Mike, if you don't have time, I don't want this to be difficult, could you use translated words and just redo the song with the translated words?
Are
And
you
he tried a
trying to
couple
hurt
versions. What's that?
Bill's feelings? Are you trying to hurt Bill's feelings now?
No,
See?
no. What I'm trying to tell you is
I don't want
that-
your leftovers.
no. I feel like whatever I say right now is just gonna like it's like when I talk to my wife, I'm just digging myself in deeper. I'm just shut up right now. I'm ahead.
Yeah, there's nothing you can say. What song was it?
I like how Mike is just like, I'm gonna stay real quiet. Head down.
I don't know where
Are
it
you-
is. So you're
Oh,
lucky.
Bring bring my share screen up, Bill.
Oh, here it
It
is.
has
Well,
nothing
so
to
you-
do with me liking one or the other. It was just the fact that I reached out to one person first.
Hold on.
That's all it
Hold on.
was.
Can you guys hear that?
Yes. Get it?
Sunday, September 14th, 4 p.m. Step in the rhythm, the truth's on the rise. This is UB Live, where we open our eyes. We move with the heartbeat, the crowd sing along. Felipe, the name in our song. Top voice in HR, he's lifting the people. Felipe, the voice of the people. Culture and courage, the power we crave. Go we go, wash away. Miranda and Max, 20 years to design. A story of courage, a heart on the line. The wisdom, the drive, he's here with us now. You be you love. Cuban in the pocket with a future they sway. Let's keep talking while the sense light the way. Equity, kindness, accountability too. He passes to you. Say his name. Lift it high. We grow. Together we rise. Miranda and Max, 20 years to design. Resilience in rhythm, each page is a sign. The wisdom to drive, and he's here with us. You be you love.
Okay, it gets better. It only gets
I
better.
can tell you right now why I said it was. No, I can tell you right now why I said it was funny. Hearing my name so much, I feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And it's like I don't like it being all about me. Like make it more about Miranda and Max. Make it more about
I did make it about
working
Miranda
with
and Max.
brothers.
In
No, I know,
fact,
but
my
hearing
friend.
hearing my name so much, I end up feeling just like okay, I feel like it's too much about me. Like I don't know. I think that's what it was that it's just hearing my name so much. That was the only thing. But other than that, I could dance to that in in a club. I could easily have fun with that song.
See, now he's listened to it with more intent. He can
No, I
dance to
heard it
it.
before, but again, it was. But I'm hearing it now. I just remembered why I was like, it's funny because most people would probably love hearing their name so much. I'm like the opposite. I
I
don't know
hate it.
why.
Yeah, I hate it as well.
I
But
mean, I've come to like the name Felipe. It's not about anything personal. I used to hate the name Felipe. But it's just like I don't know. I feel like I'm that narcissistic egomaniac that needs all the attention, almost. And I don't want to be that person. I guess.
yeah, and you just finished a 6-week tour of your book, and you have another one coming out in another 3 weeks. All right, I don't like the spotlight. I have 7 shows.
Well, see again, if I was writing books about Felipe's life, I think, but I'm writing them about my kids' stories and journeys, and and it really, honestly, if if I didn't know anybody that published books, I probably still would have made these books, bound them, and just had them for my kids to read to their kids or to my grandkids and stuff like that, because that really was the initial intent. I'm actually really shocked and surprised at how many people that I don't know have told me that their kids like the story and have read it like night after night for like 5 nights in a row. I'm like, oh shit, they actually like it. Okay, this is actually like that's a huge compliment to me. Like to me, my daughter likes it because it's Max. It's her backyard. She recognizes the story. She remembers it. My family is supportive, but to have friends like it, that was like a whole new level.
So I'm going to say this. I'm only going to say it once because I don't like being nice.
Uh-oh.
But you are such a great person. You're a great human that I think people are going to support you no matter what you do because of who you are. And you put out this air of comfortability, this air of helpfulness, this air of calm. And I've repeated things more than once that you've said to me. The one thing that I always repeat is the same thing. But you have little nuggets, and I hold on to them, and I listen to them, and it changes my direction.
That means the world to me. That right there means more than anything else. I
So
appreciate that so much because
based upon that and how much
the world, it really does.
based upon that and
that's
how
the
much
hope is that I'm actually passing on something to, because I was just talking to my kids yesterday. No, but I was talking to my kids about how much I learned from watching my brothers and sisters make mistakes,
yeah
And I'm like, oh my God, like, why didn't you get caught? I was like, because I learned what not to do,
from them.
And so it was one of those things where like, I would pass that knowledge on to my friends. They'd be like, oh, that was great knowledge. Like, how'd you learn? And, I was like, it's not my credit. I watched them. They made the mistake and I learned from them. So for me, passing on what I learned, it's been just, people have always shared stuff to me because I kind of to their heart. You all have done that many, many times. So, to me, it's the more we can get people to do that, the better the world will be, hopefully.
Do you find it hard to live up?
I don't know. I'm also on a low medication right now.
What does that mean? You took a gummy?
What?
You're on medication right now.
No. I have like some kind. Well, me like I took like NyQuil.
Oh, okay, all right.
I have like a sore throat, and I thought I had COVID, and I bought a COVID test. And you know what actually is cool though about the test now? It actually told me if I had flu strand A and flu strand B. So I was like, oh, actually it's kind of cool that it's not just a COVID test, it's a flu and COVID test, which I didn't have either. So that's good. I just have a head cold.
Okay, so you don't have anything, but you took the medication anyway, although all your tests came back negative. Okay, I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to let you think about that
Because
for a
I
second.
still have a sore. No, I still had a sore throat. I still had.
Hey, buddy,
Well,
buddy,
yeah,
it's fine.
I had a head cold.
You're
Shit.
okay.
See how he puts words in people's mouths?
Oh,
He's
No
a
one-
sneaky little guy.
That's Phil.
No one's judging.
No.
This is a judgment-free zone.
I don't feel judged.
Oh, yeah.
I don't feel judged.
Good. So I have a question for
I
you.
feel,
Now-
I, feel a little, I feel a little like I'm being called a liar, but other than that,
No. And we're going to let you go to sleep because you need to go to sleep. But now that I've told
you
you,
say that I'm not making sense when I go to sleep. Is that it?
yeah, no. But now that we've talked and I told you how important you are to me and how much your words have changed my life, and how much of an effect that you have on everyone around you, and how important words and the things that we say to each other and uplift each other mean a lot. Now that I've shared all that with you, do you want to take this moment to say that you like my song better than Mike's?
I like both songs equally. I think that they both add value. The only thing
Don't
is
do
that
it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
I don't think that the children would resonate with yours as much. I think the older generation, the kids and the teenagers, and they would dance to it. I just don't see them dancing to it while they're reading the book, kind of thing. So I think I need to send out an adult version of hey, this is the club version of Brenda Max. Go out dancing for my mom loves to dance. If I played that in the kitchen, she would start dancing in the kitchen.
Oh,
Here's the
go to it.
twerk. Here's the twerk version.
Go play in the kitchen for her right now.
Bill, what did you want me to say? Did you want me to say that that's a song I should have used for kids where all they heard was
No, don't. Because I'm just, it's funny to me, and I would just mess with
I
Mike
love your
about it.
song. Your song meant a lot. It was very touching, and it just, like I said, hear my name so much. If you sense anything, it was that. But no, it was a great beat, and I loved it.
Good.
Very. Also, like I was telling Mike, I don't have that talent. I've tried to do it, and I don't have that talent. My talent is taking pictures and making videos. That's where I like to do. But songs and songwriting and putting things together that sound good, not me. That's not my strength, and that's why I love what you two do.
Oh, that was very nice, but I still think you like Mike's better. So it's
Oh my God.
Felipe, honestly, it is that everybody is just loving you so much
Yes,
Oh.
that it is. That's why
it's a
there's
compliment.
no room for the children.
I'll take a compliment. and
There's only
the
room
Catholic,
for you.
and the Catholic guilt that I'm feeling right now for some reason. I don't know why, but I'll take that.
I'm just
used to
playing.
it. Don't worry.
Get some rest, man.
I'm not feeling guilty about something. It's not, it's not life. I'm Latino. I'm Catholic, and my mother lives with us. Guilt is part of my life.
All right, so that was fun. We just want to put you in the hot seat for a second. Mike wants you to hear his song.
Yes. All right.
I want to hear it.
Well, this is Felipe's birthday song that he talked about being the original reason.
No. We're gonna play.
You move it so you can see Felipe's face.
Oh no! That's my face. I do like the song.
You don't have to leave.
Who left?
Look at
I have to in order to have Felipe on this stage.
Felipe's peering up over the.
Well, I'm peering over the name like, who left?
Okay, here we go again.
Oh. Let me hit mute.
Wisdom that make hearts sing. He's got more connections than Cafecito has been. the best-selling author of workplace dreams. Oye, feliz cumpleaños, mi hermano. You recruit with the passion of a Cubano. From Havana to Houston, your fame has grown. The human in HR sits on his throne. He coaches executives while sipping cortadito. Develops culture like abuela sofrito. Yes, I am certified bilingual and bright, making workplaces better from morning to night. Top boys on LinkedIn, que bárbaro. Training and developing like a true maestro. He finds talent faster than you can say dale. In the world of so raise your mojito, let's celebrate Felipe's birthday. Don't be late. Another year wiser, another year strong. Que viva Felipe. Te deseamos Felipe. Cumpleaños feliz. Now blow out those candles with HR flair. And remember Felipe, cumpleaños. This song's for you. So raise your mojito, let's celebrate Felipe's birthday. Don't be late. Another year wiser, another year strong. Que viva Felipe. Sing along. Cumpleaños feliz. Cumpleaños feliz. Te deseamos Felipe. Cumpleaños feliz.
To me, I still that song.
And there we have it.
I'm almost glad that I can't play it all year round. I probably would get sick of it. So I look forward to playing it next year again. Because even down to the cafecito and sofrito and just all the little things that just make it unique and special. And then it makes me think of my childhood, of Spain, of my kids. So you just did a great job of it. You really did. And of course, HR and LinkedIn.
Well, the one thing that really touched me is that it meant so much to your family. Because when I was putting it together, as you know, I tried to do research and then obviously I kind of knew you through the shows, and so I want, when I'm writing songs, I want to impute a deeper meaning usually, and particularly for the birthday songs. And I did a number of those, Bill. I've done one. I can't even remember actually. When your birthday rolls around, I have to do one for you. But I've done a number of them, and I again, it's just a way of celebrating.
My birthday was
someone,
yesterday,
so.
Kinga. So
Well,
What?
you
Was it
should
really?
you should have you should have
Was it
told
really?
me.
yes,
Seriously?
I got no song, no cake, nothing.
Wait, was
Was
your
it
birthday yesterday?
seriously?
Really?
No. It was in June. We did know each other at the
Wow.
time. Yes, but anyway, back to you, Felipe.
No.
Go ahead,
No.
Mike.
I was just saying that the song, that birthday song, your words touch me. They have meaning. They touch family, culture, unique things I like. And it was very meaningful, just like Bill's song touched me and made me feel good and valued and seen. You both are very good in your right arts. It's just that Mike sent me a birthday card or a song. Bill didn't. See, I mean, if you'd
Okay.
done that, then you might have been the songwriter for Miranda Max.
There it is.
There you go.
But we love you, Felipe. We're very proud of everything that you're doing. How's the book selling?
They're doing good. I mean, I'm actually really surprised, and I'm going to do a kids speak at the school during this book fair they're having, and I've actually there are people already asking for the second book, and they're like, "So is there a second book really coming out? Because we want to read it." I'm like, "Okay, relax." So I'm going to try to do it for December. I don't know, but right now I just started promoting the song that or the video animated video that goes with it, and that's starting to spark interest in the book again. So
Good.
I'm just doing little things like the Spanish one coming out next week. That'll spark more interest, hopefully, in the English one too. So I'm just staggering the things a little bit at a time to keep people's interest and remind them of it too. Because I forget which show. There was one show I was on, and I remember besides showing the QR code, I forget what I said. I need to go back and watch it because after that show, like 18 people bought the book. I'm like, okay, what was it about that show and what did I say that made people want to buy it? Because it was like 18 people at one time. That was unique.
Do you don't remember which show you were on?
It was either I want to say it was Chasen's show, Chasen Forehand. But if it wasn't Chasen, it could have been yours, Bill. That was the other one. So I'm not sure if it was yours or Chasen's. I need to look.
So I can say this, like for the month that your book was out, I think that I kept your homepage on all of my
No,
lives.
you were amazing about that. You were amazing about that. I
Yeah.
can't thank
So
you enough. That was beyond kind.
and just in case anyone didn't see it, I did have Just Jax and Jackie Hallberg and Just Jax advising and Soul Man Live on Friday nights. So this has been scrolling through all day, and my mission, my goal is to uplift as many people as I can. And just like you said, Mike, right now we're in that in between stage where money may not be the easiest thing for us to come by, but we can support in other ways, whether it's writing a song, whether it's having a ticker go by that brings light to somebody else's show. My favorite thing to do right now, and I just met Aaron Gibson, so he just showed up, so I'm just telling him. There's this Wonder Woman emblem, right? Or little meme, and she does her spin, and this is Linda Carter, guys. You guys don't remember her.
I know,
And
yeah.
she explodes, and she's like, "Everybody, it's Friday!" And so after that, I put, "It's time for Soul Man Live," and that's part of like my new ritual now is to kind of decompress on a Friday watching Soul Man Live. And I would also
And
like
Wonder
to say
Woman.
that it was Wonder Woman started it. Well, first I started watching a show, then I saw the Wonder Woman thing, and it was right before a show started, and I'm like, it's Friday. That was the whole thing, and I said that means it's Soul Man Live time, and so I put that out, and then told everyone to watch the show. Anyway,
I'll say
That's it.
you, Mike, and Aaron together would be a powerhouse, dynamic team because you have similar strengths, but you also have unique strengths. And like, if you all started your own business, that would be amazing.
me,
Same.
Mike, and Aaron.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because Aaron's show was not what I expected it to be.
What did you expect?
So I was introduced to Aaron right when he went on hiatus. So I didn't see his last show.
Oh.
I happened to be at Noni's, and then Noni, our Friday night thing.
Yeah.
And I think that Aaron's show was right before Noni's. That's how I found out about it. But then that was his last one. So I actually thought it was going to be this, like, it is fun loving, but there's a lot more heart to it than I expected.
Okay.
Right? So I
enough. Yeah,
expected it to be like,
You're going to be a lot more fun, flashing, a lot of music, a lot of like, hey, let's party and have fun. It's Friday kind of thing.
and then when I got into it, I was like, mental health. And, you know, how do we get through each one of these chapters of our lives? And Mike and I both are and maybe you too, Felipe, I'm not sure, but Mike and I both are big on mental health and men's mental health.
Workplace wellness. Talk about it every
Yeah.
other week.
Yeah, and that's part of why, Felipe, you and I are friends, because we would meet after Noni's to go brunch.
Yep.
And so that whole thing was like a men's group, Kinga, where we would just sit back and we would just talk about like things that we're not men
We're
have
talking about real
evolved just like
topics,
women.
not just football, beer, and stupid shit, and games. We actually talked about real life shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we get depressed, right? Like we have good days, we have bad days.
I get
So-
it.
So when I was watching
Because
Aaron
women do it
Gibson,
all the time. Men don't always do it all the time. So
that's yeah.
we're
I worked
we're
with
trying to get better
men.
about it. We're getting better about doing it with other men, though. Men are not always as open with each other as women are. Women are much better about opening up with each other. I think about dealing with their feelings, where men are more like, yeah, we don't talk about that. It's just weird.
Yeah, we keep it bottled down, and I think that right now, especially now, as the world is trying to figure out
Yeah.
who we are, right? And I think that's the best way to describe it, as a world, as Earth, as a community of humans that are all attached. We're trying to figure out who the hell we are.
We're
Right.
starting to
And-
realize it's not a weakness to talk about it. We're realizing we're putting our egos to the side, and I think just normalizing mental health is such an important thing. We got to talk about it like we talk about going to the gym. That easy, you
Right.
know? Oh, I couldn't lift 50 pounds today for some reason. Oh, I couldn't deal with the mental stress today. I mean, same thing, Whatever
Yeah.
your issue is, we should be that casual. And by the way,
Yeah.
Kinga, before I
Right.
forget, you did a great job on Jackie's show. So did you, Bill. But I just most recently
Thanks.
I saw Kinga, and you did a great job.
Just
But
last
Bill,
night.
I'm happy to
Thank
see
you.
that you did your first show with Jackie too. That was really cool.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But going back to, like, I know I talk a lot about the negative sides of my career, but like, there were parts of it, obviously, that I loved too. And I remember sitting around being like counting, and I was like, I'm in a room of 12 men and I'm leading them through these conversations, where and especially in tech, where they would be like kind of this introverted, closed up personalities and have a hard time communicating. And it was my job to help people learn how to work effectively and communicate around complex code and complex projects that were moving parts and pieces. And so, like, that had to actually be really strong communication skills and vulnerable, because they would screw up some big things that could cost a lot of money. And I had to get them to be like, admit, like, when there was like, oh, I should have thought of that, or that could have, like, Mike could probably speak more to some of the actual like big things that like a little screw up could, not checking in something, not double checking something, or a security issue where you could, cost the company millions of dollars kind of thing, right? And being able to, a lot of times I'd have to run, not have to, but I would run like retrospective meetings, and that was something that was built into our structure. So I would do that on a weekly basis with teams, or, with leadership teams. And so, like, that kind of conversation and facilitating that was something I'm very comfortable with. And I like,
And
I
that's
get
good that
it.
you did that. Though. You helped them probably in their personal and their professional life, seriously, because they were probably able to take those skills that you were helping them with, and it probably helped them be better in their relationships at home.
I mean, who knows? But I think it's clear that there is a need for us to learn how to how to like work together and how to bring that best out in each other, and
And how to
you know, yeah.
and how to understand each other's communication styles. I'm going to say this,
Mhm.
and I do need to go because I need to get some rest. But and I'll probably need to do this on another one of my shows. But I've always talked about how I train to how we all have 4 different communication styles. People have taken a lot of assessments out there, Myers-Briggs, DISC assessments, and I have a very like the Cliff Notes version of the assessment, where you can do it and we can talk about it. And I was sharing it with my kids this past weekend, and they're like, "Well, pull it out. Let's do it right now." I'm like, "We're sitting outside in the backyard and by the fire, and you all want to do like a 5-minute assessment now?" Like, yes. I'm like, all right. So we did it. And what was interesting, I won't go into great detail about all of it, but what was fascinating was, there's 4 different styles, and we have all 4 within us. And we just usually have 2 predominant ones that we like more. And it really is something that it's very telling when you see how, when I describe the different styles. But what we learned was we thought my son was very much like my wife, and in many ways he is. But we found out that me, my daughter, and my son had the exact same communication styles. Our 2 predominant ones were the same, and my wife's were the 2 opposite ones.
That's
But what
cool.
was fascinating
Yeah, you
was
balance.
my daughter's fiance and my son's girlfriend were identical to my wife.
Mm.
So my daughter's like, I was so worried about marrying my father that I married my mother. But
Oh, I
it
have so
is
many
so.
things to talk to you about, my friend.
Yeah,
All right, let's do it
it gets
on the
interesting.
next show, because you've been going on for 2.5 hours here. I don't know how you do
Yeah,
it.
we went from 300 to 3.
Oh my
That makes
God.
sense, right? And we carried a couple of hundred for like at least the first 2 hours. So we just started losing people a second ago.
Sorry, when
So
I joined. That's why.
Womp womp.
seriously, I mean, I'm the star of my own show. So of course, when I stopped talking, people just dropped off because they were leaning on my every word.
Well,
Aaron
when small
Gibson.
bladders overtake you,
Oh,
and you're not
geez.
seen, people think you've left, and they don't want to see just my ugly mugs. That's
You're
But
hilarious.
well, I appreciate you so much, and you too, Mike and Kinga. I think the world of you. So, thank you for letting me join you all, and I will see you all very soon.
The next time we go brunch, I want to talk to you about wedding stuff.
Oh, are you gonna propose to me?
I think so.
No,
I think he is. I think he is.
no,
Yes,
I'm not.
yes.
No, I'm
Any
not.
insights for my daughter's wedding coming up? I would love to hear any insights that can be shared, because I'll be a sponge about that stuff. So, all right, you all.
I would tell you this one. I would rather have given her the money for a down payment on a house.
Oh,
That's
trust me. Wait. When we chat, I'll tell you the story. Yeah.
yeah. There's a whole
All right.
bunch going on, but I don't want to talk about it publicly. All right.
All right. Adios.
Right.
Cover everything else. Have a good evening.
Well, I can't talk about everything else because it's not what I was about to say is her life, and I can't talk about her life on a public
I'm
forum.
just saying, we have covered a lot.
We sure have.
We are a lot.
Thank you, Aaron. Aaron, when am I supposed to be on your show, and what am I supposed to deliver to you? And I think I sent you a whole bunch of pictures, but they all got rejected. Kinga, because he wanted like a mental health kind of.
Yeah. You gotta get it into your soul song. It's amazing.
Yes. How did we meet? Was it through Jackie's show, or was it through Aaron?
I was on Jackie's show last night.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Well, you're bragging about her show. I'm like, last night. Where were you?
I don't know.
You were celebrating your birthday.
I wish. I can't. Celebrating on in this household is like, did the dogs get fed today? Yes, it did. All right, we're good. There's no extra celebrating going around. Mike,
Aaron,
thank you
is
so
her birthday
much.
the 24th? Do I see Aaron's birthday is the 24th?
Oh, no. I'm going to be on Aaron's show on October 24th. and I still owe him because I sent him pictures, but I think they got rejected. So I don't think the email went through. So I have to resend them.
Oh, I thought you
Kinga.
sent me a picture.
No. Like like for his whatever reel he's gonna create, and
need those
you
kind
know, Aaron, that, and we're not gonna mess around with this. I am a major Janet Jackson fan. I'm pretty sure that you cannot get the rights to her music. I understand that, but Kinga knows the role.
That was
But
my first concert ever, Janet Jackson. Like real concert.
I've gone to every single one of her concerts, and I normally get within the first 5 rows. And
It was in Canada. I went to Canada.
Did you?
I was like, I want to say like, I was definitely in my like preteen years.
Yeah.
Preteen,
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
Yeah.
14.
Her concert was the best ever solo concert for a first-time artist ever. And no one's ever done it that big. Because Janet Jackson didn't do her tour until Rhythm Nation. So she had
Yes,
all
it was
the
Rhythm
tracks from
Nation.
Control.
Yeah.
She had all the tracks from Control, and then she had all the tracks from
Yes.
Rhythm Nation, and then she had,
Yeah.
a couple of songs and some other things that she had done.
Yes.
So by the time she had done the Rhythm Nation concert, she had 2 albums under her belt that were sold the F out. And that was one of the best concerts ever. That one,
Oh my God.
and her, did you watch the HBO specials in Hawaii and Madison Square Garden?
I don't think I watched it. No.
You did. You just don't remember. All right, Kinga, you and I will stay in touch. Aaron, you do not have a crush on me, lady. You cannot say that to me. He'll drive a funky car. Wait, maybe we'll meet at a bar. He'll drive a funky car. Maybe we'll meet at a club and fall so deeply in love. All right, that's it for me, guys.
Bye.
It's midnight.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye,
Bye.
Kinga, and
Bye.
goodbye, Michael. You want to meet and go brunch, Mike? I have
Bye.
5 minutes.
Bye. Have a good
Kinga's
one.
sleeping. All right, we're out, people.
This is your life, the story's in your hands. Every choice you've made has built where you stand. But if you drew it once, you can draw again. You hold the pen, you hold the plan. Who's gonna show up when the sun breaks through? The bitter old ghost or the hopeful you. Yeah. You're not yesterday, you're brand new today. Speak it, believe it, and watch it change. Rewrite your life, oh baby, write it bold. Turn the pain into light, let compassion unfold. Ooh, you're only as limited as what you believe. Rewrite your story, set your spirit free. Your neighbor ain't just a face you pass. They're fighting their wars, they're carrying their past. So give them your love, let it empathy flow. The seeds you plant today are tomorrow's glow. Don't let your setbacks keep you blind. They're just a setup for a greater design. Dream without limits, let your soul ignite. I speak life into the dark, turn wrong into right. Rewrite your life, oh baby, write it bold. Turn that pain into light, let compassion unfold. You're
consistency. That's your rhythm, that's your flow. And when you master one, the next will come. One groove at a time, one change at a time. That's how you free your mind.
Rewrite your life, rewrite your baby, write it all.